Welcome back to Headliners, kicking things off with The Guardian. And replacement theory is the far-right conspiracy theory that immigration is leading to white people becoming a minority. In unrelated news, immigration is leading to white people becoming a minority in the US, Nicholas.
Yeah, mind you, as soon as you mentioned replacement theory, because last time it came up in some of the stories when I was here, and I clipped it and I put it on my YouTube, and Wikipedia decided to impartially put one of those fact-checking squares underneath it, saying this is a conspiracy theory, as if it's not happening. But it is happening. Gen Z will be last generation with white majority in US, study finds. Basically, this
apart from the Native Americans back in the day, when they were the majority.
Well, they didn't have a country, to be fair, because most of it was empty.
Oh, you're so pedantic, mate.
Well, it's a definition of country according to Karl Weber, the German philosopher. You need institutions, exclusive use of force.
Could you come to all my gigs, please, to explain? Could you come to all my gigs and explain my jokes?
Yeah, what sort of audience do you have? How hostile are they? So, basically, Gen Z, who are people born between 1997 and 2012, will be the last generation in the US, according to this projection or prediction, to live in a white majority America.
Yeah.
And then there's also another sort of dynamic. Not only whites, according to this prediction, will become a minority in their own country, but...
Is it their own country?
Yes, we already established that.
No, I mean, what I'm saying is it a white-owned country?
No, but John, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said it's in their own country. I think if you're American and you're born in America, then yeah, it's your country.
But Hispanics who are born there...
It's their country as well.
Yeah, exactly, but it just sounded a bit like you were saying...
No, he didn't. He just said, you know,
that's what it sounded
they'll become a minority in their own country.
Yeah, which is
accurate and true.
Yeah, factually correct. But it's not just about that. There's also a generational or age factor to consider as well, because different ethnicities age differently or in different proportions. So we will have more elderly white people, and we already do, and younger people will have less white people in them. And this causes what is called a racial generation gap or a cultural generation gap. Whereas you will have this bigger divide. So if you thought now it is difficult with a lot of mostly peaceful protests and social incohesion between the two groups, there's more to come, potentially.
Except they'll die.
Pardon?
Except they'll die.
Well, everybody will die. But
what I'm saying is the gap will only be there for so long.
Well, no, I mean, surely the gap's going to get... I mean, what we're going to see is an America that's increasingly non-white.
Yeah, but my point is... that you're saying that there's going to be this tension between these two gaps. Well, one of them's going to then be dying in the next 30 years or so. So then their tension will disappear.
A cheery note.
Just another joke about people dying. It's no big deal.
Gosh,
don't worry about
dark tonight with his jokes, starting with Uncle Terry.
Well, actually, but what's interesting is like what impact this is going to have culturally on it. And you're saying, but also when it doesn't really mention this, it kind of skips around it. But there's this assumption that just because it's going to be a sort of a predominantly non-white country, that means the cultural change is going to be so huge. But actually, Hispanics predominantly come from a Catholic background and are anti-abortion and whatnot. So this idea that just suddenly it's all going to be the old white people are all the conservatives and all the young people. It's just that's not the case.
Absolutely, and that's the assumption that's been turned on its head, and you know, with people like Ted Cruz and Ron DeSantis, and also we're seeing a lot of white people or people who would have traditionally identified as white now identifying as non-white because it's not cool anymore. So that's driving part of the trend.